Hold on to your seats and brace yourselves, fight fans, because the combat sports world has officially entered a state of absolute meltdown. What you are about to witness isn't just another routine, scripted promotional press conference. It is an unhinged psychological warfare zone. We have heavyweight titans, returning legends, and volatile loose cannons all trapped in the exact same room, trading verbal heavy artillery and raw hostility before stepping into the cage for what promises to be an apocalyptic night of pure violence. In this video, we are breaking down a goldmine of brand new exclusive backstage reports and jaw-dropping statements that have just surfaced from the depths of this fight week. We are diving deep into the hidden financial blueprints of the sport, uncovering secret locker room animosities that the cameras missed, and analyzing tactical shifts that mainstream media outlets completely overlooked. This is the raw, uncut truth behind the megacard that has the entire MMA community losing its collective mind.
I don't know if you noticed, during your walkout, Dana White went live on Instagram and announced Conor McGregor's return. Did you realize that or no? And how do you feel about it?
And what do I have to do with that? I mean, so I should stop my workout and look what is going on with?
No, well, people during the week were saying that he was going to announce it.
I don't care, bro.
Okay.
Let's move on. Life goes on. I'm doing my stuff here. I'm doing good. I have no problem. Everybody can do whatever he wants.
3. The cinematic roadmap. So, what exactly is on our radar today? We are dismantling Francis Ngannou's cryptic business warnings to his fiercest rivals, dissecting Ronda Rousey's scorching retaliation against her critics, and tracking a chaotic, profanity-laced collision between Platinum Mike Perry and the rest of the roster. Trust me, the sheer level of disrespect uttered on this stage alters everything we thought we knew about these matchups, and by the end of this video, your entire perspective on this card will be flipped upside down. When this videos be Coney and Perpetuative, Sin Light, the ghost of John Jones. The atmosphere in the room turned ice cold the moment the shadow of John Jones was cast over the panel. Ngannou addressed the elephant in the room with absolute cold-blooded composure, openly lamenting the tragic reality that the ultimate heavyweight superfight was snatched away from fans by corporate greed and restrictive politics. However, Francis dropped a massive bombshell, hinting that Jones is finally beginning to decipher the complex business matrix of combat sports, suggesting that an independent, multi-million-dollar blockbuster might still be brewing in the shadows. 5. The secret advice. When pressed by reporters to reveal the exact nature of the financial advice he intends to give John Jones when they cross paths, Ngannou shut down the inquiry with a knowing smile. He stated that certain strategic blueprints are meant only for elite ears, emphasizing that the corporate landscape of MMA is changing, and those who don't adapt will be left behind. This level of secrecy hints at a deeper alliance forming between the sport's biggest names outside the traditional structures. 6. The underdog's wrath. Meanwhile, Renan Felipe is stepping into this main event fueled by pure, unadulterated disrespect from the media. With a staggering 89% of the global audience completely counting him out and treating him like a mere sacrificial lamb for Ngannou's highlight reel, Felipe is embracing the role of the ultimate spoiler. In combat sports, there is nothing more terrifying than an elite, highly trained killer who carries zero psychological pressure on his shoulders and has everything to gain, making him an incredibly dangerous variable. 7. Rousey's scorching counterattack. Moving over to the women's division, Ronda Rousey completely hijacked the press conference by launching a verbal heat-seeking missile directly at UFC superstar Khamzat Chimaev. Responding to harsh criticisms that she was ungrateful to the organization that made her a household name, Rousey drew a definitive line in the sand. She declared her eternal allegiance to Dana White personally, while utterly trashing the modern corporate structure of the UFC under TKO, proving she answers to absolutely nobody, defacing the wrestling style. Rousey didn't just stop at corporate politics. She systematically dismantled Chimaev's entire fighting identity. She boldly claimed that the general public is completely exhausted by what she called boring, ineffective wrestling styles, arguing that her upcoming clash is the true focal point of the weekend. With ice in her veins, she reminded the world that unlike her critics, she possesses a flawless 100% finish rate, cementing her status as the ultimate box office attraction. 9. A deadly pact of respect. The psychological dynamic between Rousey and the absolute pioneer of women's MMA, Gina Carano, is a fascinating, almost terrifying study in contrast. While they exude mutual admiration on stage, there is a dark underlying current of absolute violence between them. When a reporter asked if Rousey would hesitate to snap Carano's arm in a deep submission, Rousey smiled coldly, stating she would break the bone without a single second of hesitation, but would gladly help pop the joint back into place in the locker room afterward.
One of the things that was talked about is you fighting in an American league is the compensation that, KSW took good care of you and there was maybe not a comparable deal from the American leagues. Do you feel like this performance on this platform showed everyone that, hey, you are somebody that they should invest in and that you are worth the top dollar in the MMA world right now?
Non, je pense que j'ai tout fait au KSW et je suis très content que mon Martin soit un de mes promoteurs et qui est venu du KSW ici m'accompagner. Je pense qu'il y a beaucoup de choses à aller chercher et je remercie le KSW pour ça parce que c'est grâce à eux que je me suis construit et ils m'ont toujours respecté. On a rempli des stades de plus de 70 000 personnes ou 80 000 personnes en Pologne. C'est quelque chose d'énorme. Je pense que c'est la plus grande organisation qu'il y a jamais eu, en tout cas pour nous. Donc je remercie le KSW, je remercie Martin Lewandowski de m'avoir permis de venir ici.
So he said he's very grateful because he started at the KSW and he's grateful and thankful for Martin that gave him his opportunity in KSW. And KSW is a major organization in Europe. You can fill up a stadium with 50,000 to 60,000 people. So it's a big organization over there in Europe. And so for him, he's grateful for the opportunity and he's not going to forget where he come from and what he's done. And he's here for new opportunities. And, if something comes up, he's here to fight and to showcase his talent.
10. Carano's emotional resurrection. Carano herself provided the emotional and poetic anchor of the evening, confessing to the crowd that 5 years ago, she genuinely believed her martial arts legacy was dead, buried, and forgotten by the world. Her presence on this monumental card is a profound story of personal redemption and psychological survival, serving as a stark, beautiful reminder to the fans that the cage is a brutal sanctuary where past grievances are washed away in blood and glory. Furthermore, Carano and Rousey highlighted that this specific event is completely shattering the glass ceiling for female athletes in combat sports. They revealed that this card represents the largest financial payout for a women's fight in history. Rousey used this to validate her definition of greatness, proving that true legacy isn't just about winning gold belts under a restrictive contract, but about changing the economic reality for future generations of fighters. 12. The Perry-Jackson Street Brawl. Then came the absolute circus of anarchy that everyone was waiting for. The microphones turned into lethal weapons when Bellator champion Jason Jackson openly accused Platinum Mike Perry of cowardice, alleging that Perry deliberately ducked a fight against him to sign an easier, more lucrative contract against Nate Diaz. Perry, true to his completely unhinged and chaotic persona, fired back with a barrage of profanity, screaming that he would gladly mutilate Jackson in the streets for free, regardless of what the promoters say. 13. Diaz's unbothered Zen mode. And what was the legendary Nate Diaz doing during this absolute madhouse? He was sitting right in the eye of the storm, completely unfazed, operating on his own bizarre cosmic frequency. As the arguments raged around him, Perry joked that Diaz was too spaced out to even comprehend the English language, mockingly calling for a translator. Diaz's nonchalant, iconic response, simply telling the hostile crowd to drive safely, proved once again why he is the untouchable anti-hero of the sport. 14. Junior Dos Santos and the Old Guard. Adding to the sheer magnitude of the stage, former UFC heavyweight champion Junior Cigano Dos Santos shared his perspective on why he continues to compete at this advanced stage of his life. Sitting right next to his former rival Francis Ngannou, Cigano brought a wave of nostalgia and pure martial arts spirit to the room. He stated that for him, the glamour and the fame mean nothing. It is the raw energy of exchanging strikes and putting on a show for the nation that keeps his soul alive. 15. The resurrection of Robelis de Spain. The heavyweight narrative deepened with the inclusion of Olympic bronze medalist Robelis de Spain. After facing a tumultuous exit from his previous organization, de Spain looked physically transformed and mentally re-engineered. He addressed the crowd with absolute confidence, revealing that his time away from the mainstream spotlight was spent obsessively fixing his wrestling deficiencies, promising a far more complete and terrifying version of himself inside the cage. 16. The Rising Phenom's North American invasion. We also caught a glimpse of the future with the highly anticipated North American debut of double champ Salahdine Parnasse, while the young French phenom kept his comments strictly humble and focused on letting his hard work speak for itself. The atmospheric tension surrounding his debut was palpable. Parnasse represents a new breed of global athlete ready to conquer the Western market and step out of the shadows of regional promotions. 17. Kenneth's warning to the hype train. However, Parnasse's opponent, Kenneth, refused to play the role of an extra in someone else's movie. He weaponized the lack of media attention on him, stating that the promotion made a critical and fatal mistake by matching the French superstar against a seasoned, underrated American veteran. Kenneth warned that the fans who think he cannot handle the ground game are in for a brutal reality check, promising a spectacular derailment of the hype train. 18. The paradox of boxing stances. Finally, Francis Ngannou dropped an invaluable tactical masterclass regarding his recent high-profile ventures into the boxing world. He completely shattered the casual fans' illusion that elite boxing skills seamlessly translate into the world of mixed martial arts. He issued a stern warning to any striker on the card, stating that entering the cage with a rigid boxing posture is a death sentence that will result in your lead leg being ruthlessly chopped down by low kicks before you get slammed onto the canvas in 2 seconds flat. 19. The fans' arena breakdown. The press conference concluded with an intense fan interaction that perfectly captured the chaotic spirit of the evening. Supporters from different corners of the globe, including vocal Moroccan and Hawaiian factions, flooded the microphones to show allegiance to their favorite fighters. This raw grassroots energy injected a final dose of adrenaline into the arena, proving that despite the corporate politics, the heart of the sport still beats through the passion of the fans. 20. The final verdict and burning questions. The stage is set, the bad blood is boiling over, and the lines in the sand have been permanently drawn in stone. This historic card is no longer just a sporting event. It is a high-stakes, ruthless gamble where legendary legacies will either be immortalized or brutally destroyed in front of millions. Now, I have 2 massive burning questions for you guys in the comments below. First, do you think Francis Ngannou's heavy focus on boxing will turn out to be his secret tactical weapon, or will it be his ultimate downfall against a starving underdog? And second, did Ronda Rousey go too far with her brutal reality check to Khamzat Chimaev, or did she say what everyone else was thinking? Drop your raw predictions below, smash that subscribe button, and turn on notifications, because we are covering every single second of this impending carnage.